This story is about Mori, who was an average-looking serious boy, but he had the power of ogres and unnatural super strength. He even tries his best to hide his powers so that he can live a normal life. But when his childhood friend comes to live with him, then Mori had no option but to protect him. So in the beginning of the story, we are introduced to Mori's childhood friend Nico. And Nico had a dream that he could become a mage. And to fulfill this dream, he has to go to a mage's island far away from here. However, before going there, she tells Mori that as soon as my education is over, I will come to you. And now the scene changes from here and we are shown Mori after 10 years, which had changed a lot. There were a lot of goons behind Mori. However, Mori had no interest in fighting them, because he knows that if he goes to fight, he will beat them very badly, and in the end, it may even happen that they die. This is the reason why Mori only dodges their attacks for now. However, those goons do not take the name of stopping. Then Mori gives himself a chance to kill the goons. In the next scene, we are shown Mori at home, where Mori's father tells him to fight back sometimes, or you always have a plan to come back after being beaten. Now whatever happens, Mori and his father sit to eat. Then his father tells Mori that your best friend Nico is coming back, and because Nico has also become a mage, she wants you to become her family. Hearing this, Mori is completely shocked. However, Mori's father thinks that this reaction is absolutely normal, because the mages on occasion choose some trained animals according to their familiars. But in the past, there were some familiars who were very successful in consuming a lot of mana. And because of consuming so much mana, they could take human form at any time. Sometimes Mori says that I know about my past. Dad, I just don't want to be anyone's servant. Then his father says that in this job, you will become more of a bodyguard than his servant. And a long time ago, there is an ancient pact in both our families. So even if we want, we can't refuse this request. Mori's father also says that as long as you two live here, then I will have to go from here for a business trip. And yes, Mori, I forgot to tell you that she is going to live here with you. After hearing this, Mori spits his food on his father's face again. In the next scene, we see Mori, who was in a lot of tension. He remembers how Nico was very lazy in her childhood. However, she was very cute. And when Mori thinks that how she must be looking, and at the same time, Nico breaks the glass and comes inside. For a while, Mori does not understand who entered his house. But when Nico says that when I was about to come here, I lost my balance, because of which I came in directly breaking the glass. And after hearing this, Mori realizes that there is no one in front of him but Nico. Nico was very emotional and asks Mori that did you miss me? Although our Mori was in tension about this thing that he would have to clean the whole room. And the very next moment, Mori starts cleaning the whole room. Now I don't know why, but Nico was blushing a lot when she saw Mori. Then she says to Mori that if you want, I can fix this glass with the help of my magic. But before that, give me something that you like a lot. Now after a while, Mori brings a green cup, because Mori liked this cup very much. And after that, Nico starts her magic. And seeing Nico doing magic, Mori was very impressed. Until a while later, that glass becomes completely new. Our poor Mori was about to be happy that his cups were broken. And then Nico says that if you want to get something, you will have to lose something. And after all this, Mori looks at him in a very strange way, because of which Nico feels very bad that he broke his favorite cup. Although Mori lets this thing go because at least he has fixed this window again. And after that, Mori says that if you look at it, your magic is very good. And Nico is very happy to hear this. Maybe because that's what Mori told her. And she says that if you want, I can show you more magic. And after that, when she doesn't get anything to do magic on, then finally she casts such a spell that it becomes like a very thin paper. And now she had no control over it and she was flying in the air. She even flies out of the house, and Mori has to follow her. Mori tries to catch her before she gets into any danger, but then she reaches a place where Mori's hand does not reach. Then Mori gets an idea. He thinks that he will bring a vacuum cleaner from his house, and before he could go from here, Nico says, before you can get a vacuum cleaner, my spell will be over, and if I get normal at this place, I will be killed. Mori doesn't understand what to do now, but at the same time, the owner of that house comes there, who tries to talk to Mori, and surprisingly, this house owner was none other than the same boy who was bullying Mori. Mori says to get a vacuum cleaner from your house as soon as possible. At the same time, we are told the name of this bully, which was Momoto. Then Momoto says that if I don't get it, what will you do? Then suddenly, Mori remembers an incident of his childhood where he killed Momoto in his childhood. And after this incident, Mori was in a lot of trouble, because of which he had no option but to be beaten. Mori also tells his father about this thing, and then his father teaches Mori about a technique with which Mori can keep his powers under control. At the same time, Mori realizes that there are other ways to get Nico out, and then Mori activates his ogre strength, which Momoto gets very scared. He thinks he will be killed today, although Mori's intention was to punch and break that wall, and with the help of a punch, he breaks that whole wall and saves Nico before she gets normal. Nico really gets very happy and hugs Mori and says thanks to him, although Momoto was very angry to see this, because here Mori has broken his house. Then Mori asks Nico, "Can you fix it again?" "Yes, I can fix it for sure, but for this, I need something with which his emotions are very connected," and Mori knows exactly about such a thing. He says that Momoto likes his hair a lot. After hearing this, Nico performs her magic and makes that wall look like before, and now after doing all this, they start going to their house. On the way, Nico says that I have to do some shopping. Now after shopping, when they come back, Mori complains that your shopping bags are too heavy. After hearing this, Nico does a magic with which those bags become very light, which Mori is very surprised to see. And then Mori asks, "Have you thought about what you will tell everyone in this city? Because if you reveal that you are a mage, you can have a lot of problems." Then Nico says that there is a rule in mages, that we will always use our magic for good deeds, because by doing this, our powers help us to stay in control. She also says that I am still in the training phase, so I want to know as many people as I can know here, and I want to be such a mage who can help others. Even Mori likes this dream of Nico a lot, and he promises that I will help as much as I can. After hearing all this, Nico starts liking Mori a lot. Then Mori says that there is a fire in that building, and there was a girl in that building to save her. Nico starts cleaning her room. However, Mori says that wait a second, if you use your magic, everyone will know that you are a mage. However, Nico does not think about all these things at all. Without thinking, she takes Mori to her room and goes to rescue the girl. However, the girl does not understand how these two people are flying. But when Mori says that come to us, we have come to rescue you. And after that, as soon as the girl goes to them, the broom starts falling down due to excess weight. Then Mori asks that can you reduce our weight? And while listening to this, Nico casts a spell that makes all three of them lighter. Although they are saved from falling down, but due to the side effects of this spell, Mori lost his brain. And Mori becomes like a kid. He says that Nico is a mage and I have the power of ogres. And because of all this, Nico's attention is undistracted. And Nico is not able to balance in her broom, because of which they were about to crash land. Although to escape from this, at the last moment, she also uses lightweight on herself, because of which they are saved, but both of them become completely stupid. Although that girl could not understand anything that who are these two, but she thanks. And at the same time, Mori and Nico remember that they left all their stuff on the road,
because of which they go from there to pick them up. But by the time they reach home, their spell had completely gone, and because of which they were very tired in bringing such heavy bags home. Although this does not cause so much problem because they recover quickly, and it was night in a while, and it was time to sleep. Although a lot is going on in Mori's mind at the moment, then Mori remembers that his father had told him that within a year there is going to be a deadly attack on Nico, and as a family, it is your job to protect her. And this is the reason that Mori has made this thing his mission, that in the next year he will stay with Nico and protect her from every danger. Although Nico has no idea about this danger, she is just very happy to see Mori. The next morning, finally, Mori and Nico go to a normal school. Nico was really very happy because after so many days, she is going to live a normal life. And Nico is happy because Mori is in her class, although Nico is so careless and happy that Mori is very worried. Then Mori says that Nico, I have to talk to you something. And listening to Mori saying this, Nico starts behaving very strangely. She feels that Mori is going to confess to her, although Mori says that you are a mage and remember this, and don't tell anyone that you are a mage. In the next scene, we see both of them in the classroom, where his class teacher, whose name was Yuri, gives her introduction, and tells all the students present there to give their introduction one by one. Then all the students present there start giving their introduction. And I don't know why, but our Mori was making notes about all those students. And when Mori was writing about all of them, he wrote one thing wrong. And when he goes to erase that thing, his eraser breaks. And when Nico finds out that Mori's eraser is broken, she uses magic. Although Nico is very careless, because of which, when she does magic, her magic goes to Nico's hair instead of her pencil. And because of that magic, her hair gets very long. The class teacher doesn't understand anything that what is happening here, although she doesn't say anything about it and stays quiet. At the same time, Nico tries to cancel her magic spell, but this time too, Nico's target is missed, and this time her target had become Mori's head. And now instead of making her normal, Mori's head was also very big. Although Mori has no idea what is happening to him right now. Then Nico tries for the last time and aims at Mori's head. Although this time too, her aim is missed, and Mori's left arm gets very big. And at the same time, the class teacher sees Mori and tells him to introduce himself. Mori had no option to hide his hand. He acts like he is a bodybuilder to hide Nico's secret. Although doing this, he knew how much fun he was going to have in his school. After giving his introduction, he sits and keeps his hand straight next to Nico so that he can fix his hand. Although So as soon as Nico was about to fix her hand by doing magic, at the same time, Yuri tells Nico to introduce herself. Then suddenly she stands up and her magic happens on her, which made her so big this time that everyone knows that she is a mage. Mori was really very disappointed, because Nico couldn't even save her identity for a session. But then we find out that Nico's mother had already told everyone that she is a mage. Although after doing so much, Nico was very nervous. And Mori thinks that Nico is going to have a lot of problems to make friends in this place. Although as soon as the school ends, two girls come whose name was Kyukumi and Kara. They ask Nico for lunch with them, and Nico is really very happy to hear this. But first she goes to Mori and takes permission from him. And finally, after this, the three of them were going to a place for lunch. Although on the way, they meet three boys. Although at that time, Kara comes forward and says, "Don't waste your time. We have no interest in talking to you." And looking at Kara like this, Nico was very impressed with him. She likes Kara very much. But as soon as the three of them go inside a cafe, Kara gets very shy. And then Kara asks Nico about her magic. Nico happily says that yes, I am a mage, and I know a lot of different types of spells. She also says that this is the first time I have come out with my friends. Then Kyukumi says that yes, this is my first time too. Although then Kara changes the topic and asks about Mori, because they all think that Mori and Nico are dating. Although Nico says that no, there is nothing like that.
We are childhood friends. And she also says that we both live together. I don't know why, but Kara gets shy. And then Kara says that if you both live together and don't even date each other. So Nico, would you mind if I propose to Mori? Although Nico doesn't want any other girl to go to Mori. So she says that Mori is not a good boy. At the same time, outside the cafe, we see the same three goons who had come to take revenge. But at the same time, Mori was also keeping an eye on Nico. And before those goons could do anything, Mori knocks them all out, so that Nico's first moment with her friends is not ruined. Now the next day, we see half the class on Nico's side who wanted to talk to her, because there was a lot that they wanted to know about Nico. But very strangely, people had gathered near Mori, who wanted to talk to Nico through him. And then Kara also comes there, who asks Nico that can you show us some magic? And before Mori could stop her, Nico does a magic. And with this magic, the gravity present there was completely gone, and all the people present there turn upside down. Although when everything is fine after a while, the teacher says that this is our full period. And in this period, you can decide what you have to do. Then Kara tells the teacher that Nico can show us some more magic. And Nico is also very happy to hear this. And at the same time, the whole class decides what they have to do. Now after a while, Nico takes the whole classroom to a playground, where Nico does such magic that creates such a barrier where normal people can also fly. All the students present there were having a lot of fun, although Mori can't say anything to Nico here. After a while, Mori asks that are you okay? Because you have been doing magic for a long time. So doing magic for so long must have used a lot of your energy. Nico says that yes, I can do this, because here only I can use magic, so I only know how it feels to do this. And I had this dream since childhood that everyone should know how it feels to use magic. And then Nico says that Mori, if you want, you can say that you are an ogre, and you also have very dangerous powers. Although hearing this, Mori remembers his childhood when he told everyone about his powers, and then all his friends started being afraid of him. And when Mori is telling all these things to Nico in the present, a delivery truck comes there, and he unknowingly enters that barrier. And he was going to crash land with the help of the magic of the barrier. Although before that, the truck crashes and Mori saves him in time. But now seeing Mori doing this, every classmate present there was shocked. He asks Mori, "How did you do this?" Then Nico comes forward and tries to protect Mori, saying that it was my magic. Although Mori stops Nico and reveals everything about his powers, because he knew that eventually everyone would find out about him. Mori doesn't understand anything, because all the classmates present there were very impressed with Mori, and he says that I wish I had powers like you. Now hearing this, Mori was convinced that not all people are the same, and my classmates are some crazy people who are ready to accept anything. From here, the scene changes where we see Nico's mom, Ibuki, who was working on her new project. After channeling her magic in the book present there, she finds out that dogs and raindrops are a threat to Nico. Now from here we see Mori in Mori's house, who is drinking coffee in his new cup. And then Nico comes there, who is wearing her night suit. She tries to seduce Mori, but Mori scolds her, and says that before leaving your room, change your dress. Hearing this, Nico was very disappointed, and she feels that her fashion sense doesn't like Mori at all. Then she decides to buy some new clothes, but she didn't want to go out and buy clothes at all. Then she gets an idea, and she does a magic. magic, and with the help of a book, she tries to copy all the clothes there. However, Nico can only copy the side that she could see. That is, Nico's front clothes had only changed, and in this way, it was very strange for her to go to Mori. However, whatever it is, she has to show her fashion sense to Mori. Then she goes in front of Mori, but she just shows her front face. And when Mori sees Nico, Mori feels that Nico has to go out somewhere. But seeing that Mori didn't part 5 understand anything, Nico gets very angry. Mori says that I just wanted to show you my fashion sense. And after understanding this, Mori says that you look good, but I like you more in normal clothes. After hearing this, Nico's anger goes somewhere, and she gets so happy that she forgets that there is no cloth behind her. However, before Mori could see anything well, she changes into her normal clothes. After a while, we see that there are a lot of parcels there, and of course, most of the parcels were of Nico. However, after a lot of searching, there is a parcel for Mori, and there was a letter in that parcel which Nico's mom had written for Mori. In that letter, Nico's mom thanked Mori because Mori is taking care of Nico in her absence. In that letter, the location of that place was also mentioned from where Nico had read, and that place is known as the Holy Land of Witches. It was written in that letter that she is working on a very important thing, for which she has a lot of mana requirement, and until she collects that magic, she wants Mori to take care of her. While reading that letter, Mori was very happy because he felt that he has got a very good responsibility. And then Mori sees a very strange thing in that letter. It was written there that Nico is in danger of dogs and raindrops. However, Mori does not understand what kind of danger can be from raindrops and dogs. However, only then dogs scream from the outside, and as soon as Mori goes out, he sees that Nico has become very small. Without thinking, Mori jumps between the two of them, and he is successful in saving Nico. However, at that time, Mori was very angry because he used magic on Mori without telling, and she was about to be injured. However, after being normal, Nico apologizes to him and says that I will not do this in the future. Well, Mori says it's okay. If you are completely fine now, it doesn't matter what happened before. Now after this, as soon as Nico goes to make some coffee, Mori takes out that letter again, because there was a magic circle in that letter. And Nico's mom wrote in the letter that as soon as there is a danger on Nico, this magic circle will disappear. And until this does not happen, you stay with her. Now after a while, they both go shopping, although Mori also goes with him because he has to protect him. And Mori has decided that he will not tell Nico about the magic circle. While walking there, Mori asks for a while that, do you want to come inside my umbrella? And suddenly Nico is very happy to hear this, and she thinks that Mori is about to propose her now. And after a while, they come inside a park while walking. Then suddenly Mori tells Nico to stay with me, and Mori says this because there was someone there who was keeping an eye on them. And as soon as he comes out, we see that he was wearing a dog mask. Seeing this, Mori becomes alert, although Nico is very happy to see him because this dog is the main character of his favorite anime. But at this time, Mori doesn't care about it because he realizes that this stalker is very strong. And suddenly they both attack each other. But then suddenly that stalker pulls out a magic staff with which he could control the wind. And while controlling the wind, he pushes Mori back. Then Mori finally decides that he will not hold back anymore. And then Mori does a very dangerous punch with the help of his ogre powers. But that stalker stopped that punch very easily, although that punch was just a decoy because Mori had defeated him by reaching behind him. And before Mori hits him very badly, he takes off his mask, and we see that the man behind him already knew Nico. Then Nico introduces that girl and tells her name is Tan, and this is not a normal person. This is actually a magic spirit, and when I was in the training period, I knew this. Tan gets very emotional when he sees Nico, and tells Mori that I was just seeing how strong you are, and whether you are capable of protecting Nico or not. And then he also says that I am also here so that I can protect Nico. In the next scene, all three of them are in Mori's house, where Tan was talking to Nico continuously and ignoring Mori. I don't know why, but our man feels jealous for the first time. And on top of that, Tan tells Mori that, can I get more food? Hearing this, Mori goes and makes hot food and throws it on Tan's face. And seeing this, Tan gets very angry, but Mori doesn't care about it. Then Mori asks that, if you have come for Nico's protection, then why were you hiding? But Tan ignores Mori and doesn't answer his question. Then Mori tells Nico to ask her to answer.
Otherwise, I will say it my way. And to stop their fight, Nico uses a magic spell. With this magic, instead of Tan, an umbrella will give Mori all the answers. The umbrella says that ogres and mountain spirits always fight, because they don't get along with each other from a long time, but all this is in the past. Mori doesn't care about all this. And seeing this, Tan gets even more angry. He says that ogres never worry about us. Even in all the famous animes, ogres and demons are mentioned, and everyone forgets mountain spirits. Then Mori shouts and says that stop your nonsense. Tan says that I want to protect Nico so that I can be famous. Nico thanks him, but then Tan's umbrella deceives him. The umbrella says that Tan is helping him because he has taken a lot of money from Neko's mother. Tan makes that umbrella quiet and then tells him everything, that he had invested a lot of money in buying gun skins for Free Fire. Well, now Neko goes to make some coffee for Tan, and at the same time, Tan gives Mori a letter that Neko's mom had given him, in which it was written that Nico's enemy is present in her school. And hearing this, Mori gets very scared. But Tan says not to tell Neko about this. In the next scene, we see all three sitting, where they were talking, but suddenly another parcel comes there. Neko thinks that this was also sent by her mom, because of which she goes to get that parcel. But in a while, we hear Neko's screams. Until Mori and Tan reach there, they see that a strange cloth had taken Nico in its clutches. At the same time, Mori realizes that this cloth has been sent by Neko's enemy. Mori tries to free Neko from those clothes, but as soon as he tries, two eyes come out of those clothes. And at the same time, Neko's clothes get very tight. Then that cloth says that if you try to do something, I will kill Neko. Saying this, that magic dress takes Neko and flies away from there. Mori tries to follow him, but Tan stops him. He says that we can't catch him in the sky like this. I have an idea. And at the same time, Tan becomes Itachi and sends all the crows behind Neko. And with the help of those crows, they follow and reach Neko. But even after reaching there, they can't take Neko because Neko is still in the sky. Just at the same time, Tan's umbrella comes there and says that I also want to be a part of your group. Hearing this, Mori gets an idea. He tells Tan to use his wind power and send me to Neko. And as soon as Mori goes up, he uses that umbrella like a parachute. Seeing Mori there, the magic dress makes itself very hard. Although this was the mistake of the magic dress, because Mori with a punch. This story is about Mori, who is an event. Although this was the mistake of the magic dress, because Mori breaks it into pieces with a punch. Although this does not do any physical damage to Nico, but with the help of Mori's attack, most of Nico's clothes were gone. Although after doing this, they were both fallen down. At the right time, Tan attacks a wind and saves Nico. But because of his personal enmity, he did not save Mori. So guys, let's end today's video here. I made this video intentionally short so that I can know how you are feeling about this anime. So I just want you to tell me how much you will rate this anime out of 10. As far as I am concerned, I give it a rating of 7.3 out of 10 because this anime is very different from normal anime. Well, all animes have their own good qualities. For now, subscribe